Welcome back to the Peggy Smedley Show, the podcasting voice of IoT and digital transformation.
Welcome back to the Peggy Smedley Show. I am coming to you live for our final segment of the day, coming to you from Liveworx in Boston, and we are coming to you from Periscope here, and it's exciting. So if you have not tweeted to me now here and you're just listening, I want you to tweet at me at ConnectedWMag. So I want you to tweet. So I'm going to say it again, ConnectedWMag for any of you just listening, and those of you who are following on us right now, I want you to do that. So please do that. All right, I'm going to give you some final thoughts for today. I've been writing some of them down here, and here, let me tell you what we've got here. Today, I've had some great guests on the show all day today, and what's been really exciting is these guests have had lots of thoughts, and let me look here what I've had. So some of my thoughts today were really interesting. We've had a lot of different people come up with lots of different things, and I think the one that keeps sticking out in my mind right now are people, process, products, in the digital thread, digital transformation, right? So if you've been listening, that's all that just keeps going on in my mind. And today, when I was listening to Jim Heppelman talk today on the opening keynote, it was nice to hear him talk about things about partnerships, how important partnerships are, and intelligent operations. And he really talked about thinking about the digital workforce, and he talked about intelligent asset optimization and how they are going to have a stronger workforce, and more so that they're going to do things better and stronger together. And I love that they talked about their partnership is going to be even better and stronger than it has already. And I love the idea that they're thinking that they can do even more together. And I think if we think about that, what does that mean for all of you who want to be in partnership and think about what you can do for your operations? It's not about just what they're going to do together. They're going to make all kinds of great money, right? That's what partnerships are all about. But think about what that means for your operations, how your operations can improve your bottom lines and what you can do for your customers. I think that's what you can do to derive digital excellence. You can think about all the things and how you're going to be able to help your customers. I think those are the things that are important to me. So I think those are the big announcements that I kind of rattle around in my brain when I listen to top executives get on stage and they talk about things. So I think those are the big things that come to mind. So let's think about some other things that happened today. I think when we think about what's going to happen and what are customers talking about, and those are the big announcements, I think those are the kind of the big things today. What else did I hear today? I heard some of my guests talk a little bit about what are some of the other things that are going to come out of the show. I think you're all going to need and to continue to improve performance with your way of doing operations. I think when you think about it, what are you going to do? I think you're going to get more out of IoT. I think you're going to get more out of AR. I think you're going to get more out of AI. I think Creo and I think PLM, I think all of those things are going to be so incredible that the digital thread that they talk about, I think even more beyond that is what is digital transformation. And when I was hearing all about that, I was thinking about what is all of this really going to mean for all of you. And I was thinking about some of the guests today when they were talking about what's most important. And I was thinking what they were saying is what's most important is increasing your ability to improve your workforce. Think about this. If your customers want faster, better, efficient, you're going to have a better workforce. Your workforce is going to have to be skilled. But even more importantly than that, you're going to have to think about how are you going to have the tools? How are you going to have the people? How are you going to have the right solutions to be able to do that? As I look around here and I'm looking around, it was like this renaissance of design as we started the day off. I look around here and I'm seeing solutions everywhere. I see Capgemini and I see smart factory discussions from Elisa, and I see Nutanix, and I'm just looking around the floor of companies, and it's showing all kinds of, and everybody has digital transformation. It's the theme everywhere. And as I look about everybody talking about collaborating, and it's all about how do you work together to improve your resources? How do you get the best results to improve your body? It's not just about the product. And I'm looking around, all around, and you can see, navigate your next way of doing things. And I'm looking, it says, whatever the product is, it's all about how do you get the best transformation and the way you can do it. And that's what I'm looking, the people behind us. They talks about PTC Windchill, which is a product, we all know that. But it's really about how do you maximize everything that you're doing. And that's what you want to do. You want to have the best partners to do that. And that's what PTC has done here. They've aligned themselves with the best partners to do that, whether it's IoT, whether it's CAD, whether it's PLM, and that's what we've talked about. And I love the most about what they're doing is it's saying, where are you going to be next? And I'm sitting here thinking that all of these folks that we've been talking about are trying to figure out how are you going to enable your success. But you have to have a strategy. You can't just say, I'm going to jump right into IoT implementation. I'm going to say I'm going to do it. How are you going to do it? So you have to think about who and what is going to be your next investment. So you have to think about what way are you going to do it and who are you going to do it with. Everybody thinks they have a plan, but how is the plan going to be achieved? As we just learned here, every vertical is going to be jumping into the Internet of Things. It's going to be jumping into digital transformation. Well, if everybody's going to be doing it, how are you going to differentiate your success? Well, that's the challenge. You have to stand out. Well, you don't want to just say you're going to be doing digital transformation. You have to figure out how are you going to achieve success. How are you going to have the right people, process, and how are you going to have the right products in order to enable the digital thread? Well, what does that entail? Well, that's where you have to give some thought to it all. That's where you have to kind of look at where does your journey begin? What is the proof of concept that's going to enable the digital journey that you're going to take? Well, those are the things that you're going to have to consider. And sometimes taking that journey really requires a lot of thought. And that thought requires who's going to be going along the path with you. What path do you want to take? How long do you want to do it? And how much money do you want to invest in it? And no matter what amount of money you think you're going to put in, it is a journey. It doesn't stop with what you think. And you don't want to waste time and resources on it because it is a journey. It doesn't just end. Your proof of concept, you might invest in an effort and say this is the effort you want to make for this project. But this project is just one part of a much longer investment in a much longer journey that you're going to take because it's constantly evolving. It's a constant road that you're going to take that you have to consider. Now I'm watching all of these people down here talk about what they're doing and meeting. They're talking about what system integrators they're going to work with. They're talking about what outsourcing parts of their effort they're going to make because this is not what they excel in. Because not everything you're going to discover you want to do yourselves. Some things you'll do, some things you'll outsource. But those are the things you're going to think. Some things you'll partner with. Those are the things you're going to have to consider. That's a part of the proof of concept, the evaluation you're going to have to consider. And that's what people are actually thinking about as they look on their journey. I've sat here and watched people think about what types of partners they're looking at, and I'm thinking about how people have contemplated their whole evaluation. And trying to figure out who's the best partner to actually consider as they make their way. What's the big partner that they want to accelerate their path to a journey? Who is the cornerstone to their best, I guess, digital transformation that they want to make? And not everybody's going to work. Not everybody's going to be on their path. Not everybody's going to understand or help them leverage the success that's going to necessarily be made. So you have to kind of think about how you're going to deliver, whether it would be a partner with Windchill, whether it's going to be your PLM solution on, let's say, Microsoft Azure. All of these things are things you have to contemplate and think about. So there's been a lot. I tell you, from this one day, I know that I learned a lot because we had an amazing day of great people come on this show that are partners with PTC. And PTC and Jim Heppelman really has a lot of vision for where this whole digital transformation is going to take us. And I really enjoyed kind of learning about how manufacturers are going to enable product data. And I think it's interesting to see how all of you who are watching and listening are going to enable your success, because it's been fun to come to you live on Periscope and talk to you about all of this in a whole unique way, because it's interesting to watch all of this whole inner exchange, I should say, with all of these amazing people who are probably in many ways much smarter than I, who live and breathe it, whether they consult it, whether they make a product, whether they shape it, they design it, whatever they do. But they have a vision for it, whether they were Microsoft or whether they were a consulting firm, whether they were Caterpillar, whoever they were that came up here and talked about it. They actually are doing all kinds of things every day. And we have a whole host of companies coming tomorrow, including Jim Heppelman, who's going to be on the show tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to having him on here to really talk about where he sees things even more than what he talked about today, because we're going to have a special hour of discussion with him tomorrow, a special segment with him tomorrow, just talking about it, because I think that's what's really exciting, is having Jim come on and really talk about all the different things that are happening in the space. So I think I'm going to kind of wrap it up for this point right now. But I think that's about all the things. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up for today and tell you all the things we have going on tomorrow. So let me see if I can give you all the things that we have. Tomorrow I'm going to be back live at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central. And then I'm coming back at 2:30 p.m. Central. So we have got a chock full day tomorrow. So let me tell you what we have. Tomorrow we've got Bob Murphy of Rockwell Automation and Kathleen Mitford of PTC. And then we've got Barbara Roach of Speakwell Partners and Kathy Heckel of Magic Leap. Then we've got Jeff Holja of IDC Manufacturing Insights, and then Jim Heppelman of PTC is going to be joining us. So we've got some great conversation tomorrow. So I hope you will join us tomorrow when we wrap all of these things up, because I think tomorrow is going to be a very full day. So if you were thinking today was all that we were coming to you live from PTC, well, it's not, because we have a lot more to talk about. So I hope you will join us again. And I hope you're going to tweet at us, because if you're not tweeting at us, you're not asking the questions. And I want you to tweet, because I want you to give me questions for Jim Heppelman, because maybe we'll ask him live. We'll get those from Jim. So, all right, we are going to wrap up today's show. And if you've got any questions, tweet at me. Remember, this is the Peggy Smedley Show. We are coming to you live from Liveworx right here in Boston. It has been a great day of great things coming to you, and I've loved having a chance to talk to you and share with you all these great, exciting things. So, as always, this is the Peggy Smedley Smedley Show, the podcasting voice of IoT and digital transformation. And remember, with great technology comes great responsibility. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow, bright and early.